Equations in one variable part 2.
Hello students, welcome to the maths lecture. In the previous lecture, we started with a new chapter, that is equations in one variable. In that, we solved the practice set 12.1, which involved sums with equations in one variable. Now, today we will be learning a new concept, that is converting a given word problem into algebraic expressions and then equations and then solving them. So now let's get started with practice set 12.2. Now when it comes to word problems, kids generally fear doing it. Now we will remove all this fear and I'll try to make it as simple as possible so that you start enjoying word problems hereafter. Whenever you are given a word problem, you read the entire question first. But when we start solving it, don't take everything at once, go step by step, part by part. Now let's look at the first statement. Mother is 25 years older than her son. So we are going to convert only this part into some algebraic expression. Now mother is 25 years older than her son. So let the son's age be x. So we'll write here, let the son's age be x years. Now if mother is 25 years older, that means her age should be x plus 25. Therefore, mother's age is x plus 25 years. Now we'll just make a small correction here. Since they have talked about 8 years after, now we have to mention here that it is the present age. So I'll write here, let the son's present age be x years and mother's present age is x plus 25 years. So this part of the sum is done. Now we will move to the next part. Find son's age if after 8 years ratio of son's age to mother's age will be 4 upon 9. So now after 8 years, what will be the son's age? Present age of son is x. So after 8 years, it will be x plus 8 years. Likewise for the mother, after 8 years, mother's age will be, today she is x plus 25. So after 8 years, it will be x plus 25 plus 8 years. So how much is that equal to? X plus 33 years. So today son's age is x years, mother is 25 years older to him, so she is x plus 25 years. After 8 years, son's age will be x plus 8. 8 will be added to his years, x years. So mother's age will be her present age plus 8. So x plus 25 plus 8, so x plus 33 years. Now they have given the condition that after 8 years, ratio of son's age to mother's age will be 4 upon 9. So I'll write here, as per the given condition. So what is the condition given? After 8 years, the ratio of son's age to mother's age is 4 upon 9. So what is son's age after 8 years? X plus 8. Mother's age is x plus 33. The ratio of these two will be equal to 4 upon 9. So x plus 8 upon x plus 33 is equal to 4 upon 9. So we got an algebraic expression here, an equation here. We have to cross multiply so that this gets converted into a linear equation in one variable, and then we can start solving it like the way we did it, practice at 12.1. Now I will rub this part so that I can work this out. I will take this here, x plus 8 upon x plus 33 is equal to 4 upon 9. Now what I have to do is do the cross multiplication. 9 into x plus 8 equals 4 into x plus 33. Now open the brackets. 9 into x 9x, 9 8s are 72, 4 into x 4x, 4 into 33, 4 3s are 12, 1 carries, 4 3s are 12 plus 1 13, 132. Now what I will do is I will keep this 9x here, take this 4x to the left, it will become minus 4x. I will keep this 132 here itself, I will take this 72 to the other side, it will become minus 72. I will continue the working here. Now 9x minus 4x is 5x and 132 minus 72 is 60. So I will have x is equal to 60 divided by 5. So x is equal to 12. So what we have taken x as the present age of sun. So his present age we got as 12. So I will write the final answer. You can simply write the sun's present age is 12 years, or you can write age of sun is 12 years. So I'll write here the present age of sun is 12 years. Suppose if they had asked you what is the present age of mother and son. So for mother what you would have done? You have to add 12 plus 25. Okay, so 37 will be the age of the mother. So that is not asked in this sum, only present age of son is asked. So you got x and we had taken x as the son's present age. So that is the answer. Now let us go to the second question. The denominator of a fraction is greater than its numerator by 12 if the numerator is decreased by 2 and the denominator is increased by 7. The new fraction is equivalent with 1 by 2. Find the fraction. Now we will go part by part. The denominator of a fraction is greater than its numerator by 12. So now if I say let the numerator be x. So what will be the denominator? The denominator is greater than the numerator by 12. So denominator will be x plus 12. So repeat, if I take the numerator to be x, since they have given the denominator is greater than the numerator by 12, I will have to take denominator as x plus 12. So the next part is, if the numerator is decreased by 2 and the denominator is increased by 7, the new fraction is equivalent with 1 by 2. So we have to write for this. So before that we will write what the fraction is. So the fraction is x upon x plus 12. I have written the numerator up, denominator down. Now we will go for this part. If the numerator is decreased by 2, so I have to decrease 2 here, and the denominator is increased by 7. So what is the denominator already? X plus 12. And what they are saying is if you are increasing it by 7, so you have to add 7 here. The new fraction that you are getting will become equivalent to 1 by 2. So I will write here, according to the given condition, so you can directly write this. So x minus 2 upon x plus 12 plus 7 is equal to 1 upon 2. I have to work this out now. So now I'll have x minus 2 upon x plus 12 plus 7 will become x plus 19 is equal to 1 upon 2. Now what we have to do is cross multiply. 2 into x minus 2 is equal to 1 into x plus 19. Open the brackets. We'll have 2x minus 2 into 2 4, 1 into x plus 1 into 19 19. So I almost got a linear equation in one variable. So I have 2x. This x will become minus x when I take it to the left, and this minus 4 will become plus 4. So I'll have 2x minus x is x, 19 plus 4 is 23. So I just got x as of now. what we have to find is find the fraction. So in the original fraction, the numerator is x that we got. So we need to find what is the denominator. So x plus 12 is equal to 23 plus 12, that is equal to 35. So you got the numerator and you got the denominator. So 23 upon 35 is your fraction. So I'll rub this part. Therefore, the fraction is 23 upon 35. So this is your answer. Now let us go to the third question. The ratio of weights of copper and zinc in brass is 13:7. Find the weight of zinc in a brass utensil weighing 700 gram. Now brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. Now since it's an alloy, the ratio keeps changing depending upon how much quantity you are mixing. So in this case, the ratio of copper and zinc is 13:7. You are given a brass vessel which weighs 700 grams. In that brass vessel, you are asked to find out how many grams of zinc is present. Very simple sum. We'll write whatever information is given. So the ratio of weights of copper and zinc in brass is 13:7. So I'll write it as it is. Now what I'll do is I'll take, let the common multiple be x. So I'll have the weight of or the mass of copper and zinc in grams. So I'll have copper 13x grams and zinc 7x grams. That means if I add these two, I'll get 700 grams. So I'll write here, according to the given condition. What is the given condition here? The total mass of copper and zinc in this case is 700 grams in the form of that brass utensil. So I'll just add this copper and zinc and I'll have 700 grams. Okay, I don't have to write here 700 grams because I am converting it into a algebraic expression, an equation with one variable. Now I can add these two. 13x plus 7x is 20x is equal to 700. I'll keep this x here, I'll take this 20 to the other side, it will go down. So I'll have 70 upon 2, that's nothing but 35. So I'll have 35 here. So now I'll have to find what is 13x and what is 7x. In fact, they have asked us to find only the weight of zinc, not even copper. So what is zinc here? 7x grams. So I'll write here weight of zinc is equal to 7 into 35. So I'll have 7 5s are 35, 3 carry, 7 3s are 21 plus 3, 24 grams. So you have to write the final answer. Find the weight of zinc in a brass utensil weighing 700 grams. So I'll write here weight of zinc in the brass utensil is equal to 245 grams. So this is your final answer. Now let us go to the fourth question. Find three consecutive whole numbers whose sum is more than 45 but less than 54. It's a very different type of sum but it's a very easy one. Now let's go part by part. Find three consecutive whole numbers. So now Whole numbers means from 0. Any number which starts from 0 and goes on till infinity. Consecutive means one after the other. So if I take one number as x, the next number has to be x plus 1, the next number has to be x plus 2. You can take x, x minus 1, x minus 2 also, but it involves negative numbers. That will make it more complicated, so we will make it simple. So one number is x, the other number has to be x plus 1, the other number has to be x plus 2. Like for example, if you have 3, the next number will be 3 plus 1. The other number will be 3 plus 2. 3, 4, 5. So likewise I have written here. Now, whose sum is more than 45? So sum means what? Addition. So if I add these numbers, they say that this sum will be more than 45 and less than 54. So I am going to put it in a symbolic form. So I will write 45 over here, I will write 54 over here, and I am going to put the less than and greater than sign. So 45 is lesser than this. So I will put this here, and this is lesser than 54. Now I am going to use this to get some sort of equation. So I will take these two first. So I will have 45 less than x plus 1 plus x plus 2. And I will take these two here and get another equation. So I have x plus 1 plus x plus 2 less than 54. Now I am going to solve them. Now 45 is less than x plus x is 3x plus 1 plus 2, 3. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to take this 3 to the other side. So it will become minus 3. Like if you had an equal to sign here, you would have done the same thing. When any number or any expression crosses this is equal to sign, its sign will change. So here that is same applicable for this less than and greater than sign also. So I will have this 3x here, 45, and this 3 will become minus 3. So 3x, 45 minus 3, 42. I'll just interchange this for our convenience. So 3x is greater than 42. So x is greater than 42 divided by 3. This 3 will come down. So x is greater than, what is 42 divided by 3? So x is greater than 14. So this I will circle it. Likewise I am going to solve here. So x plus x 3x, 1 plus 2, 3 less than 54. So I will keep this 3x here, I will take this 54, I will keep it here itself, and 3 will go to the other side and become minus 3. So I will have 3x is less than 51. So x is less than 51 upon 3. Therefore x is less than 17. So I got here x is greater than 14 but less than 17. So you can take this first, then we will just put these two and just try to solve the sum. So far what you have got is x is a number greater than 14 and less than 17. Now what I am going to do is I am going to put these two together. So x lies between 14 and 17. So I will put it this way. So between 14 and 17, which are the numbers, whole numbers? 15 and 16. So x could be 15 or 16. So you can put a bar this way, 15 or 16. If x is equal to 15, what are the other two numbers? X plus 1 and x plus 2. 15 plus 1, 16. 15 plus 2, 17. So what are the numbers in this case? 15, 16, 17 are the three consecutive whole numbers. Now if x is equal to 16, so what will be the next number? 17. The other number will be 18. So in this case, what are the three numbers? 16, 17 and 18. So, look at the question now. Find 3 consecutive whole numbers whose sum is more than 45 but less than 54. So, which are the 2 sets of consecutive whole numbers which satisfies the given question? The numbers are either 15, 16, 17 or 16, 17 and 18. Now you can verify whether your sum is right. So now when you add this you get 48 and when you add this you get 51. Now as per the condition, the 3 numbers on addition is greater than 45 and less than 54. So 48 is between 45 and 54. Likewise, this number, these 3 numbers on addition gives you 51. So 51 again is greater than 45 and less than 54. So your conditions are satisfied. You can cross verify this way. Now let us go to the 5th question. In a 2-digit number, digit at the tens place is twice the digit at units place. If the number obtained by interchanging the digits is added to the original number, the sum is 66. Find the number. The sum seems to be very big and complicated, but it's an easy sum. We will do it in parts. Now I'll take this part. In a 2-digit number, digit at the tens place is twice the digit at the units place. So I'll write here units place and tens place. So let the digit in the units place be x. So as per our condition, digit at the tens place is twice the digit at the units place. So if this is x, this has to be 2 times of x, because the digit at the tens place is twice the digit at the units place. Now whenever you have the units place and the tens place, how will you write the number? The tens place will be multiplied to 10 and the units place will be multiplied to 1 and you get the number. This is your number. Now you have to put this in the form of words. So now you write here, let the number in the units place be x. Therefore, the number in the tens place is 2x. Therefore, the number is Therefore, the original number is 10 into 2x plus 1 into x. So that is equal to 20x plus x, that is equal to 21x. This is your original number. Now what we are going to do is we are going to interchange the digits. Now for example, if I am taking a number 35, now I am going to interchange and I am going to write it as 53. So that is called as interchanging of the digits. This is for just an example. So after interchanging, this x will come to the tens place and this number which was there in the tens place will go to the units place. Now what will be the new number? Again 10 into x plus 1 into 2x. So your new number will be 10x plus 2x, that's equal to 12x. Now the way we have written here in words for this part, we have to write in words like this for this part also. I hope you have copied this. I will copy this part now. So now the number in the units place is 2x. The number in the tens place is x. Therefore, the new number is 10 into x plus 1 into 2x. So that's equal to 10x plus 2x, that is equal to 12x. So previously we got the number as 21x, now we got the number as 12x. Now, what is the given condition? See, if the number obtained by interchanging the digits is added to the original number, that means the original number and the new number are going to get added, and in that case we are going to get the sum as 66. So what was our original number? 21x. And what is the new number that we got? 12x. That's equal to 66. So you will have to write here according to the given condition. So 21x was the original number, 12x is the new number, that's equal to 66. So we will have 33x is equal to 66. So x is equal to 66 upon 33, that is x is equal to 2. But x is not what we have asked for, we have to find what is the original number. So original number is 21x. So the original number is equal to 21x, and what is our x? 2. So the original number is 42. So this is your answer. Now we can cross check and find out whether your answer is right or wrong. Just put the numbers in the given condition. The original number is 42, and what will be the number after interchanging? 24. And according to their condition, when you add them, you are going to get 66. That is what they have given. So your answer is right. So we have verified the given condition and we found our answer is right. So this is the way we cross check. So this is your final answer. Now let us go to 6th question. Some tickets of rupees 200 and some of rupees 100 of a drama in a theatre were sold. The number of tickets of rupees 200 sold was 20 more than the number of tickets of 100. The total amount received by the theatre by sale of tickets was rupees 37,000. Find the number of 100 rupees tickets sold. Now we'll go part by part. Now I'll just make 2 columns here. I'll write here number of tickets worth rupees 200 sold, and here number of tickets worth rupees 100 sold. Instead of writing the steps in the form of sentences, we can make columns like this also. Now they have given that the number of tickets of 200 sold was 20 more than the number of tickets of 100 sold. So if I take this as x, this has to be x plus 20, because 100 rupees tickets were lesser than 200 rupees tickets. You can see here the number of tickets of rupees 200 sold was 20 more. So here in this side they have sold 20 tickets more compared to 100 rupee tickets. Now totally they have made a revenue of 37,000. So we have to find out what is the value of x and hence find out how many tickets worth rupees 100 was sold. So now you can see here 200 rupees tickets sold were x plus 20, 100 rupee tickets sold were x numbers. So when you multiply these two, 200 into x plus 20, you will get the amount that they received by selling 200 rupees ticket. Now 100 into x will give you the amount they are making by selling 100 rupees ticket. So here I will have, according to the given condition, this amount 200 into x plus 20 plus this amount 100x is equal to 37,000. So I got the linear equation in one variable. I can open the bracket, solve it and get the value of x very easily. So 200 into x is 200x plus 200 into 20 is 4000 plus 100x is equal to 37,000. So I'll have 200x plus 100x is 300x plus 4,000 is equal to 37,000. Now what I'll do is I'll take this 4,000 to the other side. So 300x is equal to 37,000 minus 4,000. This plus 4,000 will become minus 4,000 when it goes to the other side. So 300x is equal to, what is 37,000 minus 4,000? 33,000. Now I'll keep this x here. I'll take this 300 down. So these two zeros get cancelled. So what I am left out is with 330 upon 3, that is nothing but 110. What is 110? X. X is the number of tickets which are sold worth rupees 100. So I have to write the answer. Find the number of 100 rupees tickets sold. So 110 tickets were sold whose worth was rupees 100. So I'll write here. Final answer. 110 tickets worth rupees 100 was sold. So wasn't this an easy sum? Though it looked very complicated, this was a sum. So in case if they ask question like how many tickets of 200 rupees were sold, you simply have to add 110 plus 20. So 130 tickets of 200 rupees worth were sold. So with this we finish the 6 sums of this practice set. The remaining 4 sums are omitted from the syllabus. We also finish with this chapter. In the next lecture we will be starting with the new chapter. Thank you students.